I'm gonna go through the Merfolk deck in my little mini cube of 4 commander decks that are all centered on Ixalan block. This is a rather heavy critter, and I have not yet played it online, even though I do have it. I do have this card online. So it'll get the PT from the number of cards in your hand. I'm never a fan of that ability, and it's a 7-drop. But when it enters the battlefield, you draw a card for each creature you control. So that can't be bad. Alright, so then let's go through the one flip card that we have in here. I love these. I'm not tiring of pulling them. I want to pull many, many more, God willing. And they're just beautiful. I love the concept, and also they're really useful and playable, in my opinion, at casual, some even at competitive. So that's the one in this deck, and I'll start going through it. I think this is the weaker of the 4 decks. I do not know, but as I keep playing it, I'll think of ways to improve the weakest deck and weaken the strongest deck so that all 4 are sort of on par with each other. I have to do some thinking about that. Some of these lower spells are not that good in Commander. We'll find out. And the deck doesn't have enough Merfolk, so I've got other creatures in here that are not Merfolk, just to round out the critters. Just like in the case of the vampire deck. I also tried to give this deck, just like in the case of the vampire deck, some of the stronger non-creature spells. I think. Let's see how it plays out. Make a Merfolk fly. Okay, so this counters as you keep dropping Merfolk. This one explores. This one's just here because I needed critters. There's the fly going around. If you reveal a Merfolk or pay 3, so that's good. So it's either a 5-drop if you don't reveal one, or a 2-drop if you do. That's really nice. Vanilla Merfolk. They do a lot of +1/+1 in this deck. A negate. Okay. Another explore card. Cannot be blocked with a claw, so you always need plummets when you're on green, in my opinion. An enchantment that gives you tokens. You're returning things to their deck, and you're using cancel. I also gave this deck some vehicles. And ways to give the Merfolk haste, or at least one of them. Tapper. Another tapper. And of course, there's a rock, paper, scissors going on. So, for example, the dinosaur deck is I think one of the stronger ones, just because there are so many dinosaurs in the block. But this critter cannot be blocked by dinosaurs. That's nice. That really fits into a block only set of decks like I have built here. So this guy explores. More counters. It's got flash. Flash is very, very useful. and you make another target Merfolk gain hexproof, which is good because you cast this as a battle trick. Your other Merfolk is about to die in combat, maybe. It's chomp blocking something, maybe a dinosaur, and you cast this and you turn it. Well, actually, no, never mind. That's not a good scenario. That would be good for if you made it indestructible. If somebody's about to remove it, you cast this, now it's hexproof, and the removal does not go through. That's a scenario. Sorry about that. I was using the wrong one. Creates tokens when it enters the battlefield. Counters. You can draw a card if you remove a counter. That's very, very useful. And it's a creature you control. It doesn't have to be this specific creature. I think that's very good. This card is also in the dinosaur deck, so it untaps. You're on green here as well. If you attack with a creature, draw a card. My favorite phrase on a magic card. Draw a card. This one, of course, is a pirate. It's here to help the Merfolk. Poor Merfolk, there's not enough of them. So I had to give them some other tribes. Have at least one Ascend card in each one of the decks. You get a benefit if you have the City's Blessing. You can do that. These decks are not like super grindy, and I think everyone's going to be able to get creatures out. This is good for your mana. Another Ascend card. Some little destruction in green. Bouncing. Stronger against whatever deck is using a lot of artifacts. And I believe the pirate deck is doing so. They all are, I think. Maybe even the dinosaur deck. A boost. Vanilla Merfolk. Another Merfolk. Hexproof one. And then a rare Merfolk from Rivals. When it attacks, you may put the top three cards of your library into your graveyard. When it dies, put all land cards from your graveyard onto the battlefield tapped. I would have liked it more in a green-black deck. So again, because of the way the tribes are in this set, there's only so many ways you can go. And they didn't really have a tribe per 2-color pair. And so this would have been better in a green-black strategy, because then you have all these cards that can play with the graveyard. It'll remain here. Again, all these decks are sketches. Very early sketches of where I want to go. Eventually, I think I'm going to add Dominaria. Eventually, I think I'm going to add M19. Maybe even take a turn and turning them into brawl decks. I don't really know. They can go in many ways. Right now, I'm just going for, I want to understand Ixalan block. So I want to play with as many of the cards in the block as possible. Putting pirates to help the creature count, and snakes, and even dinosaurs. You saw that in the vampire deck. Okay, this dude puts a bunch of counters on a land, and it gets haste, so you can attack with it. I love to see it in play. Again, when I've been playing these decks, I can only do them in solitaire. When I play against an opponent, yeah, not good against a bunch of the best cards ever, which is what Commander is like online. Here's another dino. Oh, sorry, I made a mess. Made a little bit of a mess. An elemental. Another elemental with hexproof. I love these ships that have been put into the vehicles for this set. They look beautiful. Just love the way this card looks. Really do. another dino to top out the curve, and I pull this card, and I guess it's a money card, so I don't have it online. It is here. It's trying to hose the Planeswalker in the dinosaur deck. But again, as these sketches move forward, some of these other decks may also get Planeswalkers. So it's here because I pulled it, and again, it's a sketch. So we'll see where we can take these decks in the future.